Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Group Chat. We have a very action-packed episode. We are talking about some groundbreaking content. Most importantly, TikTok just made a huge update. It could be the most important news you hear all day. You will not believe.
We might be the biggest thing on TikTok.
We might be the biggest thing on TikTok. The other thing is, I have now formed 3 responses for all people that send me video content. You will hear those 3 responses
Or
today.
all content.
It's specifically around video.
Okay.
But all content, sure.
Any 3 stock responses.
3 stock responses, unless it's, yeah, those are my 3 responses from now on. And then we talk about workers getting harassed on Slack, apparently. I don't even know what that means. I don't know how you get harassed on Slack. U.S. soccer does a big deal.
I think a lot of it has to do with your 3 stock responses.
My 3 stock responses could lead to that. And then, yeah, we dip our toe into Russia land, and we hear some stories about it ain't going too well for the Russians right now. So we'll have to see how it all shapes up over the next 48 hours.
And there's one thing I want to include that I just saw on my phone. The Republicans are trying to introduce a bill that U.S. citizens can go seize the assets of Russians themselves and take it.
I like that.
It's a bill. It's not going to get passed. Yeah. But imagine that.
So you can just go take an AK-47?
Yeah.
Take a yacht?
Arm up.
I don't know what I would steal.
I want Roman's Aspen house.
It's yours. You just go shoot it up and take it. It's America. You get what you want in America. Yeah. You want a Russian asset? You take it. I like this chaos. The chaos is so good. I love this bill. I'm all for it. You know how good the content will be? 600 people just took Roman Abramovich's house in Aspen. Sorry.
But we'll get into a lot more of that at the end of the episode.
All right, let's get into it.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, Group Chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
All right, we are back with another episode of Group Chat, the #1 podcast in the world. We're going to start off with some hard-hitting news. I know everyone's talking about Russia and Ukraine, but this is some pretty global powerhouse news we have to share first. TikTok is expanding to maximum video length to 10 minutes. I know you're listening and you're like, what's the big deal? You know what's the big deal? How big is YouTube? YouTube is probably worth $250 to $500 billion.
I think YouTube does about 15 to 20 billion in revenue a year.
Okay, that is what's at stake. Mm-hmm. And TikTok just upped the ante and said, we're going to test 10 minutes. They are now getting into long-form content.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because their biggest creators aren't used to that. So they're going to have to recruit new creators. Like Josh Richards and D'Amelios can't go on for 10 minutes. They're not as interesting.
No, but
they can hit a dance for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
But
there's a lot of there are people like us who do long form content that are popular on TikTok. Now we just opened ourselves to a whole new audience of people because the TikTok audience may not be listening to podcasts or they may not be spending as much time on YouTube. They're just spending a lot of time on TikTok. Yeah. So it's going to open.
It could displace some of the biggest TikTok creators because if there's a flight to quality, the current content creators, it's not quality.
Yeah, but that's also, I don't think it displaces them. I think it's just a different audience. Because I do think mundane, mindless content is always going to be in demand. Because I think it's light and easy to consume. Where when you start getting like 10 minutes, you got to be interested in something.
And it has to be produced.
Yeah.
You can't just do 10 minutes of nonsense.
I don't know. People are watching people eat ramen. That's nonsense.
No, ramen's big business.
Okay, but eating it is not highly produced.
My point is, I think they must see 2 things. I think they obviously see the YouTube opportunity. That's obvious. Yeah. But maybe they're seeing fatigue from some of their big content creators that just do a 10-second dance. Like, how many years can you watch that dance?
Yeah, a lot.
They're doing the same dance. The moves don't even change that much.
Well,
it's just
hard.
a new
There's-
song.
There's only so many moves you can do in that little square
And I'm
or the
seeing
rectangle.
just on my own feed. I know everyone's feed's different, tailored to whatever you like and engage with. I'm seeing fewer dances, and I see more like clips of things, clips of live events, whether it's sports, entertainment, concerts. A lot of concert clips. Like I see a lot of like, name your biggest artist, and it's like a 30-second clip from their world tour, and they're capturing moments. And I feel like they've seen like the on ramp was 10-second dances from good looking kids, and now they have to evolve. And
Because there's a lot more ugly kids. What are they going to get to do?
right, and I think they might have hit the peak of dancing, and now have to evolve to like get
Well, there's
better
only
content.
so much dancing you can consume.
Yes,
Okay, and
we've seen every dance for 2.5 years.
Yeah, and they all look the same, and it's like the same song. I agree. So there'll always be a demand for that. But
Yeah,
that's peaked.
it'll be a niche content.
That's peaked. Now it'll be other things where I think like TikTok could become like the de facto video platform for the internet. And so if that is what happens, then you have to assume that you have, like people are going to get their news, they're going to get their sports clips, they're going to get whatever they want on the platform, which they're already getting. I just think TikTok, ByteDance needs to just invest in the right creators to make sure. Like the long form thing is very important because like most of the YouTube content is shot for YouTube, like the screen ratio. So you need to convince creators to shoot for TikTok. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Like you have to shoot vertical. Otherwise, you're not going to make the highest quality content. And so, but the good thing about TikTok is they have no problem writing checks.
Right.
So they may spend $10 billion on just getting people to create the content for TikTok.
Maybe we get a check.
Love a check.
Yeah.
We could be bought. It's very easy. Like
Think about it. If we took our typically 60 to 80 minute podcast, cut it into the best 10 minutes, it's compelling content.
Well, like this clip, instead of putting the 15-second version of the clip that we normally would put, we're at 4.5 minutes. That 4.5 minute clip should now be a clip that we test,
right,
and see does that resonate? Because like the thing with like when what is it? IGTV launched. Instagram
that kind of fell flat, huh?
That was a disaster.
Yeah.
When they launched that, we were posting clips on that, and we were, and not just group chat. I'm just saying the businesses would post and different content we would post. But when you get the data, like people are watching 5 seconds, 3 seconds. They were not watching the 1 minute clip you put or the 2 minute clip you put. Even when you go to YouTube, you could see the data. Like the average person watches this much percentage of the content. So we'll know quickly. TikTok, because the other thing is the 10-minute piece of content in the feed of your TikTok. So they'll show you 15 seconds and do you click watch more, or is that another feed of longer form content?
Hey, one thing about ByteDance and TikTok, they're incredible at product. So I think it's going to be a seamless experience for the user.
Yeah, because I think TikTok now, they know they've eaten Instagram's lunch already. So now it's like, all right, they're letting us run free in America. Why not go after YouTube too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we're just going to let them.
Yeah. Welcome TikTok to America.
Yeah. Shit. What are the lobbyists for Google, Facebook doing?
I think they're fighting so many other battles. They can't deal with this right now.
Yeah.
They're fighting the privacy laws. They're fighting,
antitrust acquisitions.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're just letting TikTok. This is an invasion. This is cyber. This is warfare.
Yeah.
I know we're talking about warfare. I'm not trying to minimize what's going on in the world, but it is actually warfare.
It's information warfare.
Yeah.
Which is, if you look at what's happening in Russia, Ukraine, there's obviously the military element. Equally are the financial impacts.
Sure.
I would argue the financial impact that's happening on each country is greater than the impact that it's happening on just the number of casualties and stuff. Because like I saw a video of people in a Moscow or St. Petersburg subway station. They cut off Apple Pay.
So they were all running to get cash. Are we jumping right into it, or do you want to deal later?
We'll get into that in a second.
Yeah.
But I think just seeing how people are dealing with that is a super kind of interesting take on that information and financial warfare is equal to what can happen through like military destruction.
Sure.
And to disrupt everyday life, information warfare is actually far more effective.
Yeah, you're basically giving the data of American consumers to a foreign government that can control with an algorithm what we do, what we like and don't like.
Yeah, not just consumers, just information, what we are interested
and where we are.
Yeah.
TikTok knows exactly where you are at any given point.
Yeah. Unbelievable. But in the meanwhile, check out our 10-minute clips on TikTok and hopefully it works.
Yeah, we're up for sale.
Yeah, I mean, America's
just like the American consumers up for sale, we're up for sale.
Yeah. Highest bidder.
Yeah.
You want to have exclusive group chat content? Just pay us.
We'll translate to Mandarin if we need to.
I mean, if that's where the bucks are. Ni hao. Big news in retail. I've been watching this stock for the last month just get clobbered. I'm watching two retail stocks very closely. One is Nordstrom, and one is the Gap. And I could not believe how badly Nordstrom stock has gotten beaten up. I understand growth isn't there. I understand all the things that everyone wants to say about traditional brick and mortar retailer. And, you know, they even signaled that their Nordstrom Rack business was struggling. They reported earnings after the bell. And just to put into perspective, their market cap during this podcast was $3.1 billion. They do revenue of $15 billion.
But I see that their off-price business just showed a slower deceleration in growth.
Yeah.
And the stock was up 30% on that news?
Well, it wasn't because of Rack. It's because their core business is actually up.
Okay.
And so that, I think, is the fascinating part. So the stock after hours is up 30%. They see revenue up 5 to 7% over 2021 and better than expected profits. And I think what happened here is like people have like tempered their expectations so low for retail stocks and retail companies. And this company actually made $200 million of profit in the last quarter, which is, I mean, it's real money.
Yeah,
And
so brick and mortar has seen probably the biggest, it's the anti-COVID trade.
Yeah.
Everyone just wants to go to the store and shop. They're
Yeah.
sick of online purchasing,
Yeah.
right?
And by the way, it's just no matter, there's the thing that you can never solve about online shopping is immediacy. Like, unless you can afford to have 1 hour delivery at a reasonable price, when you need something, you have to go to a store. Oh, it's Friday. I want to go out this weekend. I want to get a new dress, new pair of shoes, whatever it is. You have to go to the store. Second, I don't care what anyone says. Returning and exchanging on the internet is still a pain point. It's not. You still have to put it back in a box, print out a fucking label, and take it somewhere to return it. It's not as easy as everyone wants it to be yet. So there's still like a need for brick and mortar retail that solves for a lot of people's kind of issues with shopping. And Nordstrom just proved, hey, we still do $15 billion of revenue. We are profitable. Stop punishing us. What's interesting is that their sales at the Nordstrom Rack are down. They were down 5% on a 2-year basis, which I don't know how the hell Nordstrom Rack has down sales. I mean, discounting, everyone else is up in this category. This is just poorly merchandised store is the only thing I can guess. Because if it's just the stuff in the Nordstrom store, cheaper, it should do well.
Right.
It should inherently
And people
do well.
design into rack, right?
Yeah, I think the problem is like their merchandising strategy at Nordstrom has gotten a lot better. They're a lot more fashion forward. They've gotten younger. When you walk into a Nordstrom today, it doesn't feel like the Nordstrom of 5-10 years ago, which felt very old. Like I would argue that like Nordstrom's like women's footwear section is phenomenal.
But I will say the only Nordstrom that I walk into is the one at the Grove down the street. And despite Nordstrom does have a higher end product selection, it does feel very swap meetish. Is it just because there's so much traffic at the Grove?
Yeah.
Like it's just chaos.
There's just too many people. And then
So that's a function of the Grove, not a regular Nordstrom.
No, I don't think a regular Nordstrom is like that. By the way, if you walk in, the cosmetics is half the floor, and then footwear is half the floor. Women's footwear. So I think like they're indicating. I would love to see the merchandise breakdown of where Nordstrom thrives, but I mean. It feels like when you walk into the first floor at the Grove of a Nordstrom, the footwear department for women, that is a purchase that I think will always thrive in real life. Like I think sneakers you could buy on the internet. Like if you want to buy a $500 or $1,000 pair of heels, I think you want to, I'm sure plenty of women buy their heels and they buy 2 sizes and they try it on. But like, I don't know, there's something about buying that particular category. Or even beauty, getting to try on. I mean, I don't know.
The fragrance.
The fragrance,
just spraying all over the store.
I don't care for the smell of the fragrance.
Yeah.
It's too little
I
intoxicating.
wonder how retailers across, like the big ones, like across the world, like Harrods. Is Harrods just on fire now that COVID's kind of subsided?
Yeah, I'm sure with tourism back in some of these countries, like wait till global tourism packs up. Department stores thrive during tourism. Think about the Grove foot traffic, Times Square, Herald Square in New York, Fifth Avenue. What's going to happen in the next 6 to 12 months? It's going to explode.
I would guess, and I don't have the information, Grove's foot traffic is equal to pre-pandemic, even without the global tourism.
That it's just busy.
I think it's just busy.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been, and it seems as busy as ever.
Yeah.
Especially on a weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, don't you go every Fridays and it's slammed?
Yeah, slammed. Like, it literally slammed.
So they can't even probably stomach global tourism.
Yeah, and I think that's
or it'll just turn away the locals to be like, I'm not dealing with this.
It's too much traffic. All right, everyone. Quick break. We got to talk about our friends at Liquid IV. I am getting back in shape. Coachella is around the corner. I am running. It is hot out there. I ran yesterday. It was 80 degrees when I was running.
Yeah, it's 80 today.
It's hot. When you're out there running in that heat, you have to stay hydrated. And the reality is you can't drink enough water, so we drink some Liquid IV. They have so many incredible flavors. They have Concord grape, guava, watermelon, lemon ginger, tangerine, and so much more. People don't realize a lot of people are just generally tired because they're dehydrated. I look at you being sluggish. You think it's that extra cup of coffee? No. It's about hydration. Get over to liquidiv.com and check them out. 1 stick of Liquid IV is equivalent to 16 ounces of water. Hydrates faster and more efficiently than water alone. No brainer, right, guys? And if you want to get a deal, because that's what we're all about, head over to liquidiv.com. Use the code GROUPCHAT and get 25% off. If you are not an online shopper and you do not want to go on the internet, head on over to Costco and you can go buy yourself a huge pack, I'm sure at a great price at Costco. Liquidiv.com. Use the code GROUPCHAT and stay hydrated. But yeah, I think that's going to be very interesting to see. Like spring and summer, you should see a rapid increase in global tourism. The one thing is that Asian tourism
is done.
Yeah, because like people can't leave China.
Because you can't come back.
Yeah, you don't want to wait a month.
Yeah, because if you think about the countries, I mean, just China, it's the biggest, 1.4 billion, whatever the number is.
Yeah.
No one's leaving because you have to spend 21 days in quarantine.
28.
28.
A friend of mine just did it. He was in my office last week, and he was talking, and he's like, China's different. It's not how when I would go there. He's like, there's no expats anywhere in China. They live at a 5-star hotel that has residences that I used to basically stay with them. And he's like, you walk around the lobby, it's only Chinese people. There's no expats anymore. The mood is very somber. It's just a different country. So those folks, and he's done the 28-day quarantine twice.
And what was his setup?
Basically, he's like, he basically stayed in like an office
With the bathroom.
with a bathroom, and like they would just come and serve you food, you know.
And you have to test every day, or what is
Yeah,
it?
he's just like, it's prison. He's like, you got Wi-Fi. So he's like, I was just working, talking to family, whatever. But like,
You can go crazy.
Yeah,
28 days by yourself? That's
Yeah.
like solitary confinement.
yeah. And he's like, it's so tough. And then if you want to leave, you have to, you know. And what's interesting is his business partners both said like, never coming back to China. I cannot deal with this. So many of their customers, their manufacturer, never coming back to China. They're like, we never want to come back. So I think like until the quarantine drops, we're not going to see Chinese tourism back in America.
Which is the majority of Asia.
Yeah. But I think Japanese and Korean, I don't know what their quarantines are in their countries. They think there still is a quarantine.
There's still a quarantine. I don't think it's 21 days.
Yeah.
And I think you can get some exemptions with vaccines.
Got it.
So you may have to do like 7 days.
Yeah. And then European tourism, I'm sure, has already picked up dramatically.
Yeah, I mean, UK dropped everything.
Yeah.
You can just walk right in.
Yeah.
And I bet London tourism's insane
Yeah.
because it's effectively a free country.
Yeah.
I mean, US is too, but in terms of COVID protocols, like there's no quarantine.
Do I have to still wear a mask? I still see people still wearing masks. I walked into a Starbucks yesterday.
What's the rule? I don't know.
I think March 2nd, maybe.
Yeah, I went to the gym this morning and I just had to show proof of vaccination. I didn't have to wear my mask.
Got it. Okay.
Which gym did you go to?
Planet Fitness.
Okay.
And then they don't ask you anything.
Nope. They like put something into the system, so now they know every time I go that I'm vaccinated, so I don't have to show every time. But yeah, no questions.
Wow.
But like by the LA law today, am I required to wear a mask to go to Trader Joe's?
Right now.
Until tomorrow, you're saying?
I think so. I don't know. I'm paying attention. I'm not wearing a mask. I'm roaming. They say, "Where's your mask?" I'm like, I'm just picking up.
I know restaurants don't care anymore. I've been to enough restaurants; they don't care. When we
Yeah.
were at a restaurant last night, I didn't wear a mask,
No.
and there wasn't even the faking it.
The attempt.
Yeah.
I still see people wearing masks.
I see people solo outside wearing masks,
Yeah. Well, lunatics. These people are lunatics.
or they just maybe it's for allergies. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay.
I don't care if you want to wear it.
Yeah, that's fine.
let's do
It
whatever
just
you
can't.
want.
It has nothing to do with COVID.
Yes,
It's just
correct.
because you don't want germs.
Yeah, it probably made a lot of people germaphobes.
You should wear gloves then. Also,
Yeah,
you're better off wearing.
I mean, the phone is the most germs. You can't have a phone.
Yeah, I mean, if I think about where I keep my phone whenever I'm like around town, it's disgusting.
Yes.
Like on a bar, I will leave my phone. A random bar. Can you believe the disease
And
that
we know what
phones-
people are doing when they're on the toilet. They're on their phone.
Yeah, they wipe their ass and then they grab their phone again. You have feces on your phone, and guess where? When you pick up the phone, you put that screen on your face. You have shit on your face.
Yes.
your shit face.
Yeah, use headphones at least.
Some
You don't
people.
wanna
I don't even use headphones anymore. I'm over headphones.
Really?
I like a wire headphone. The AirPod, the charging, it's just always dead.
Yeah,
Why aren't you charging automatically? Solar powered.
I guess.
I can't remember to charge everything. I have to charge like 400 things when I go to sleep.
Right. But you use the wire headphones.
Yeah,
I mean, holding your phone to your ear and having a conversation is ridiculous in 2022.
I don't mind it. I'll do it all the time. I'm also a big like public, busy place, loudspeaker phone guy.
Why is that?
For some reason, the speakerphone experience is what I enjoy talking.
I like the speakerphone experience, but if it's in public, that's...
I don't care. The thing is, I actually don't care if anyone is annoyed by my...
But your person on the receiving end of your call is probably getting
Why?
weird noises.
It's picking up noise anyways.
I guess. Interesting move.
When I was in Vegas 2 weeks ago, I was walking around the casino, and I have to pace when I talk. So on a conference call, I'm pacing up and down the casino. I walked like 5 miles because of a 1 hour call. I'm just screaming on the phone. It's comical. Anyways, the point of the story is Nordstrom is booming. Stock is up 35%, soared from 19 and change to $27 after hours. I was dying to buy options on this, and I didn't. I bought it on Gap, though. Gap reports in 2 days. I don't know if my entire thesis on Gap
Is the Kanye documentary?
is just Kanye's impact on the brand. Is there any at all? Like, they're doing all these drops. They're not reporting the volume of these drops. But
The basic hoodie, the big boxy hoodie.
yeah, like the first drop they did, how many jackets did they sell of the garbage jacket? The blue garbage jacket. How many hoodies have they sold? They just did the Balenciaga Gap Yeezy drop. How many of that? Are they going to share any data? Has that had an impact on their core business? I don't know if it has or not, but I'm curious. So I made a small bet on that. I think it has. But if you want anything to do with Kanye and apparel, you're either buying merch at his shows, or if he drops it online, or you have to buy Gap.
I see he got rid of the ski mask.
Yeah. Well, COVID's over.
Oh, that was a COVID. That was how he
Dealt with COVID.
Okay.
There's a basketball game on Wednesday at CSUN, which is the college near where we grew up in the Valley. I bought our mom some tickets for it. Donda Academy.
Who's playing?
Donda.
Donda versus who?
Whoever they want.
You don't know.
No, but I got the Ticketmaster email, and I was like, oh shit, it's at the Matadome in Northridge. Our mom loves basketball, so I bought a few tickets for her. It says on the ticket, though, you must wear black.
Really?
Yes.
I'm
Kanye's
gonna
got to be
Google.
going.
Of course he's going.
Courtside, $500.
That's what you paid?
No, I didn't get her courtside. She got to upgrade herself on that.
Wow. So she's going to see Donda.
Yeah,
They have good kids. I know that.
yeah. I wonder who they're playing.
I'm going to Google it right now.
But yeah, I think interested to see how that experience is, because I mean, if he sells out, I mean, I don't know how big this stadium is. It's CSUN's
Probably a few
basketball.
thousand people.
It's probably more.
We've been to that stadium.
It's called Matadome. I don't remember.
You think it
Matadome.
got bigger?
2,400 people.
Yeah.
So it's small. Okay, they should be able to sell that out to watch a bunch of kids nobody knows. If Kanye shows up, I mean, he has to show up. Otherwise, it's a kind of a bust, right?
These kids play all over the country.
Yeah, they have like tour. It's like a full tour. Yeah. Have you ever been to the Donda Academy site if you want to apply for the school? Very interesting set of questions they ask.
If you want to go to the school?
Yeah. I didn't even know the school is in session. That's fascinating. Anyways, well, you know, those people who graduate from Donda Academy will then go on to college, and then they'll enter the workforce, and then they'll find out that 38% of workers are experiencing harassment remotely.
Who's harassing on Zoom?
So that's what they're saying, is that email, voice, and text, and things like Slack, that 38% of workers are experiencing harassment. This is why this stat to me is insane, is that tone of voice on written word is so hard to detect from different types of people. Some people are just short when they speak on text. Mm-hmm. And other people will interpret that as disrespectful. Some people, maybe English isn't their first language, and so the way they speak on text feels disrespectful or anger, or it feels dismissive. And then I think that when I think about this in the workplace, like that's an insane amount of people. 38%.
Yeah, I mean, it reminds me of the conversation Taylor, who used to work with us on the pod, would say we were dicks on text.
Yeah.
Like if you don't do ha 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 with like 10 ha ha ha's,
Yeah.
then you're being disrespectful.
Yeah. 10 ha's are respectful.
Yeah, everything has to be extra.
Yeah.
You can't, no one word responses.
Yeah. I'm a one ha guy.
Ha is like an FU.
Yeah. Then I'm telling 40, 50 people a day, fuck off. I'm telling everyone, for me to do 10 ha-has, I have to be laughing, actually laughing.
I don't even think LOL is accepted anymore amongst the youth.
I'm lolling everybody.
But the youth don't want that. You need 10 ha's.
10 ha's? What about a meme as a response?
I think that's acceptable. Shows thought.
Thought
So you took the extra mile.
to go search for a meme and
Yes.
insert it into the text.
I think they're very sensitive on text.
So it's a 10 ha minimum, huh?
10 ha minimum.
That's insane.
Otherwise, it's not funny.
So is the better response not funny?
I think that's just rude. You can't call someone out.
Well, I mean, if I have to be forced to laugh, then I'm going to force you to send things that are funny.
It's a fair request. I'm just saying you will offend people.
10 ha's. Now, you know what? From now on, if someone says something, I don't think it's funny, I'm saying, that's not funny. I'm sorry.
Whether they were intending it to be funny or not,
Yeah, I'll just say, not funny.
I think you should do it. Try it out.
Your options are one ha or
But
not
you
funny.
can't do it with 40-year-olds. You need to do it with 25-year-olds and see what happens.
Yeah.
40-year-olds don't give a shit if they're not funny.
No.
No one's going to care. If you say not funny, they just move on.
At what point in life do you just wake up and you don't give a fuck?
Probably
How old
once-
do you have to be?
I think it's when you have kids.
Yeah. Because once you have kids, you can't be harassed.
Yeah, there's
Who's
nothing-
harassing me? I can't think of anyone who can harass me.
Yeah, I don't think it's an age barrier, but I'm sure there's 28-year-olds with kids that don't give a fuck about anything anymore.
Yeah. Because at the moment you have kids, you literally do not give two fucks what anyone says or thinks.
Correct. That is absolutely correct.
Because
And-
what you can't offend us when you.
No, there's nothing you can say to offend me.
Because we go home to a war zone.
Yes.
It's fascinating.
You can make me laugh. Can't offend me.
Yeah, offending is really, really
You
tough.
can give me a 10-ha joke. I'll give you 10 ha's back.
Let's try it. If you send me something from now on DM and it's not funny, I'm telling you to your face.
But if it's
not
funny, you got to give 10 ha's.
I'll give you 10 ha's if it's funny.
Okay.
And by the way, don't send me some long ass video to watch. I don't got time for that. A video gets you a not funny. I have
You should say not interested.
not interested. That's what I'm gonna do from now on. Just to be clear, I don't watch any videos of anything unless it's like groundbreaking news. I don't have fucking time. The sound is always off. The only time I have to watch videos is like at 6:15 in the morning, and I cannot turn on the sound because I might wake up kids.
Right.
So I'm not.
I want you to use not interested, not funny, and 10 ha's. You have to give all three.
Those are my. That's in my chamber now.
I like it.
If someone sends me a video and it requires me to listen to it with sound, not interested.
It's good. Let's give it a
Yeah.
week. Come
You
back,
send
report
me
back.
I'll look at memes, and if they're not funny, I will let you know. And if it is funny, I'll drop you 10 ha's. Those are my three
We
responses.
have a good plan for the next week.
Yeah. I can't wait to just drop bombs on people. Not interested.
It has to be to young people. You can't do it to old people.
No,
Old
I
people
want to
don't
do
care.
it to old people too, because I think they'll find it funny.
They may give you 10 ha's back.
They
If they're
love
not
it. They love
interested.
it. I think I'll get a lot of 10 ha's back on not interested.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. This is a good test. I mean, we have to evolve our communication because there's a generational gap with young people. With 25-year-old and 40-year-old cannot communicate today.
No. There's not. There's so many nuances that are okay with 40-year-olds that aren't okay with 25-year-olds.
You need a translator.
Probably at this point. Especially because no one's jumping on the phone.
Hey, Taylor, Dee found your joke to be not funny, and he's not interested in hearing those jokes anymore from you because he thinks they're stupid.
There you go.
Respectfully, Dee. instead of my previous response, which is ha.
But the problem with the ha is you might actually be laughing, but you're not letting them know. You might also not think it's not funny.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to be direct from now on.
Okay, good.
All right, what's going on in Hong Kong? No one's going there anymore.
Everyone's leaving.
Yeah.
Expats are disappearing. I think Hong Kong's going to have from the Hong Kong we know that we visited over the last 20 years just won't exist.
Yeah.
I mean, they have the same stringent restrictions as China because it's effectively China now. And I mean, we've been to Hong Kong. Like there were streets where all you'd see is white people.
Yeah.
Like a string of bars and restaurants.
Yeah.
I just don't think that's realistic anymore.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is I don't think it's so bad living there currently, but the beauty of living in a place like Hong Kong, it's the proximity to the rest of Asia is so convenient.
And it's like such a developed place.
Yeah.
So you get first world amenities,
Yeah.
but access to all these great spots to visit.
Yeah, so like traveling to Thailand for the weekend or...
The only anyone who's lived in Hong Kong will tell you, like, the beauty of it is what you said, travel. But when you have a 28-day quarantine coming home, you can't. So you have to leave.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to be the financial hub. I think Singapore is the biggest beneficiary.
Yeah. I think Singapore, I don't know what their quarantine, I think...
They do have a quarantine still, but it's not 28 days.
So is their COVID experience completely different, or they're just being like dictatory on the rules? Like just some of these countries that still have quarantines. Because like...
Dictatory.
I mean, because at this point, they must have data from America like, oh, guess what? America, COVID's over.
Yeah, and these are largely vaccinated populations.
Yeah.
Like there, you don't get a choice. There's no like Fox News to go figure out whether you want to take the vaccine or not. They just make you get it. Mm-hmm. So I think this was the government's attempt to basically take control away from the people in a lot of these countries, and they're holding on to it. Yeah. And it has nothing to do with the actual spread of the virus.
Yeah. Okay.
And it puts fear in the population. You don't go against the government.
Yeah. That I understand the control aspect of it. I just don't see the real value for a resident to be in these places.
I don't want to dwell on COVID, but I think it's comical. So Kyrie Irving, according to New York new laws, he can sit courtside as a fan, but can't play in the game.
I mean, who cares? Who cares at this point?
And even more interesting is an unvaccinated player can come to Brooklyn and play, but Kyrie Irving can't play as an unvaccinated player.
I'm sure that's going to change.
It'll change in 2 weeks. But just, I don't care what your view on vaccines or the virus. I'm pro-vaccine. But what are these rules?
They just don't know. They don't know how to handle it. And they don't know, like... It's just happening all too fast, and we're just not prepared to handle it.
Yep.
Like, they haven't thought about every little nuance when they make.
I mean, that's not a nuance. That's pretty blatant.
No, because they want people to come to the state and spend money and shop and eat and travel, but they're also punishing locals who aren't vaccinated.
Yeah, I guess
the vaccination thing just has to be done now. You can't be mandating anymore. It doesn't fucking matter. Like
everyone do what's best for yourself.
Yeah, let it be a free for all.
Well, as long as it doesn't. I mean, now it's not overwhelming the hospitals. The problem was 6 months ago when
that's what I'm saying.
It was overwhelming the hospitals.
Yeah, but like, dude, if their new booster comes out, no one's getting it.
I'll get it.
You just get it just to get it.
Every 6 months, I'm getting a shot. I've already conceded that.
Yeah. Okay. I think that group, that number will go down and down.
Yeah, it'll keep going down for sure.
Yeah. All right. Here's an interesting update. Our guy Ken Griffin is dipping his toe into crypto. We knew that he got an investment from Paradigm, right?
Yes.
So he was already aligned with the crypto folks. My guess, Ken Griffin, who is the founder of Citadel, has been buying crypto this whole time. It's just not public.
I would think so too. I think the people that scream from the mountaintops that crypto is a scam were secretly buying it because they move markets.
Yeah.
And they're like, let's keep it suppressed until we actually make our big buys.
Especially like a Citadel who probably manages what, like $1 trillion or something.
I mean, it's not that, but yeah, it's huge.
It's some massive amount of wealth is now,
Guys like Ken Griffin don't lose.
yeah. They never lose.
They never lose.
That's what I was telling you. You thought he was going to get dinged when the Constitution down. He fucking ate the Constitution up
Yeah.
and spit it out in everyone's face.
It's a good reminder to everyone.
Good reminder. And nothing is decentralized. It is very centralized. And I think, look, I think you want the big dogs involved in crypto.
Of course you do. Why do you think Paradigm invested in Citadel?
Yeah.
You have to be aligned with the Titans.
Yeah.
Ken Griffin's a Titan.
Yeah. Hot. What's interesting is here's his exact quote. Crypto has been one of the great stories in finance over the course of the last 15 years. And I'll be clear, I've been in the naysayer camp over that period of time. But the crypto market today has a market capitalization of about $2 trillion, which tells you that I haven't been right on this call.
That's big of him
Yeah,
to say that.
yeah.
Because Jamie Dimon still won't admit he was dead wrong.
Well, that's just ego. That's all that is.
I mean, do you think Ken Griffin's like way richer than Jamie Dimon?
That's my point, because he's so rich, he doesn't need to have an ego when it comes to money. Jamie Dimon's just not as rich. He's just like,
Yeah.
he's still trying to make his money.
Yeah.
Ken Griffin's just like for fun buying the Constitution. Jamie Dimon's not that rich.
Correct.
But it's interesting. I'm curious to see how he also plays in the crypto market. Like, is he just buying, like,
I bet you he has a whole desk doing derivatives and like
trading it?
trading it, leverage. And that's what they do.
Yeah.
If they can figure that out in the public markets for decades, why can't they figure it out in the crypto market?
Well, there's way more volatility. This is like,
this is a trader's dream.
yeah,
Getting, dude, Bitcoin was at 33,000 last week to
Yeah.
43,000.
yeah.
It might
for
be
them.
at 35 next week. It could be at 50 next week.
It's amazing. It's good. It's good for
And all the tricks these guys do in the public markets is actually legal in the
yeah.
crypto markets.
Yeah. They can do it all day.
Yes.
You could pump and dump crypto all day.
Yeah.
NFTs. Wait till Ken Griffin figures NFTs out.
Sure.
Those guys are going to move markets like you wouldn't believe. All right. Well, good for them. Happy more people are getting rich, or the rich are getting richer, as they say. Here's an interesting another group that's making some money. Turner Sports signed an 8-year deal to carry the U.S. soccer men's and women's national team games through 2030. They're looking to pay between $25 and $27 million a year.
Yeah.
I think it's relatively cheap, but we
'cause
suck
they're
at
only
soccer
airing like 20 games.
in that 8-year period.
No, each year.
That's pretty cheap.
Yeah. And live rights matter. That's
Yeah.
the only thing that matters anymore. Because all they need is like one three-game stretch where like
We
the young
can't-
kid, Christian Pulisic, pronouncing it wrong probably, but he's like the star.
Yeah.
If he just balls out, makes a moment,
And
they'll
then
make it on 3 games.
Yeah. I agree. I think the deal is very, very cheap. But we do, as a country, nationally stink at soccer.
We have historically, I mean, no one come at me for not knowing anything about soccer. What I'm hearing is this U.S. team is actually pretty good.
All
The
I
current
s-
men's. And the women's is always winning.
I don't think they didn't win the World Cup.
I think they lost in the finals, right, or something.
You got to win.
But the men's team, I'm hearing
Men's team
buzz.
is
No,
dog
I'm hearing
shit.
buzz that they actually have a shot at like not just getting eliminated and
Yeah, they're like losing to like Peru and not even going to the World Cup. Like they're not even in the planet of the World Cup.
if they get a run in Qatar this end of the year,
Are they
this-
even in the World Cup? I bet you they
think
can't even
they're
make
still-
it. Maybe we can get the Russian spot. Russia's getting kicked out of FIFA.
Yeah, they're getting kicked out. But I'm hopeful if they can get a run in this next World Cup, this deal is going to be enormously cheap.
Yeah, I agree. Good for them. If you're into sports, we're actually launching the group chat March Madness bracket. March Madness is quickly approaching us. How do you sign up for this March Madness bracket?
Yeah, so the links will be on all our social medias, Snapchat. So if you haven't followed us there, you can follow us at Group Chat Pod, Instagram, TikTok. The password is Ledger Nano X.
Okay.
Capital L, capital N, capital X. And first place prize will get a 3-month subscription to Menlo Club, 1 Ledger Nano, and 1 package of Liquid IV. Second place will get 1 month subscription to Menlo Club, 1 Ledger Nano, and 1 package of Liquid IV. And third place will get 1 Ledger Nano and 1 package of Liquid IV.
So it's a big move for Ledger. Maybe we'll throw a little some money in that Ledger too.
Yeah.
Spice things up. So look out. We're gonna share all that detail and sign up. It'll be fun for all the Cathys to, and then maybe we can watch the finals together, like a Cathy's final viewing. That could be fun.
Yeah, 40 love.
Oh yeah.
Keep it in the family.
Okay. Cool. Let's do that. That's a.
I know the finals are always a Monday night, 6 p.m. Monday night.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, cool. All right, everybody, join that. That's going to be fun for all of us to participate in. Let's catch up with what's going on in Russia and Ukraine. So, if you go on social media, that's all everybody's talking about. I think Putin, from what I'm seeing, is getting pretty desperate. Everyone is piling on Russia. So not just economic sanctions, not just countries seizing assets. I think the couple that were very shocking was Switzerland, which is very well known for just helping corrupt governments steal money, embezzle money. Switzerland has always been neutral, and they were always welcoming anyone's money. It didn't matter whose money, what you did, how you got it. You could put it in a Swiss bank account. I can only imagine the stories a Swiss banker can say of what's happened over the last 100 years in Swiss banking.
Yep.
Switzerland is now cutting ties with Russia. All the big tech companies are cutting ties. It just reported Apple is no longer selling in Russia.
Nike stopped.
So people are making real stands here. I don't know how big of a market is for a lot of these companies, but I'm sure it's significant. Like,
It's probably pretty small.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Putin and Russia economically are like the biggest gap, meaning Putin is so relevant in the world as like this figure, and it's largely because he's this like ruthless dictator. But Russia, just economically, it's not even a top 10 country GDP, and after these sanctions, I bet you they drop out of the top 20.
yeah.
So it's not even an economically relevant country in the world. It's just Putin has made himself this figure that makes everyone pay attention, and they have nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
And what I think Switzerland had their hand forced because they would love to bank the Russians. Let's be really clear. But the West has cut them off.
Yeah.
So you have the whole world, including China, have turned their back on him.
Yeah.
And it's good and it's scary. What does a late 60-year-old low-level KGB, that's his history, with nuclear weapons do
Yeah.
when he's backed into a corner?
Yeah.
And I think that's the scary part.
Yeah.
Because the world has made it clear that no one's standing with it. Their own citizens don't support this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm hearing stories from people in Russia. They're just mortified, embarrassed. This is a war that we're going to be paying for.
Yeah.
Like, you know, reparations and all this for decades. And it's just a black mark on the country's history. So what happens from here? And there's so many effects, right? Like, Russia and Ukraine export 29% of the world's wheat. And both those countries now are just completely disrupted. And I'm seeing countries like some countries in Africa rely like 90% of their imports of wheat comes from these two countries.
Wow.
They're not going to have bread.
Yeah.
So now people are going to starve.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, we said this in the beginning when this all started. There's no winner in this.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no winner in this. Regardless of how it tapers off or escalates, there's no winner.
Yeah, I think that unfortunately the damage has been done, and now once people realize, hey, we don't really need Russia for anything, no one's going to go back and start, engaging them.
Yeah.
Until there's like significant change. The problem is the change has to be that Putin's no longer in power. This guy's just not walking away.
So here's the game of pickle he's going to have to play. So Russian oligarchs have basically been blocked from the global financial system. Russian oligarchs, just for like people who aren't familiar, it's just a group of cronies of the Russian government that all got handed industries over the last 25 years.
Just like, oh, you went to high school, Putin. You get to do oil and gas.
Correct. And they've made hundreds of billions of dollars, these people. If you go to Saint-Tropez, you go to Mykonos, you go to any of these hot vacation spots in the summer, it's just Russian billionaires on yachts.
Yeah. Hot. Very hot.
And they own some of the biggest yachts in the world.
Yes.
And now the U.S. government and the European governments are seizing these assets. So Roman Abramovich was forced, he got kicked out of UK.
Yeah.
And the Russian, the kid who did the celebrity jets and the Elon jets, he's tracking Russian jets.
Yeah.
And I just saw Roman's in Istanbul right now.
Okay.
So these guys are getting cornered into like remote parts of the world.
Yeah.
And what they're going to turn on Putin.
Yeah.
If you're worth, 50, 80 billion and now you're broke, you effectively don't have any money, and it's all because of this guy's actions. Definitely, like, the kids don't care of the oligarchs. Roman's daughter was on Instagram saying, like, F Putin.
Yeah.
They just want to chill on their yachts.
Yeah. They're not trying to be involved in this conflict. I think this conflict has no support.
None.
Not from
I
Russia.
don't even think from Putin's cronies. Because now he's just ruined their lives.
Yeah.
The people, forget the Russian citizens. I mean, not forget, but the Russian citizens are getting punished the most, right?
Yeah.
Their economy is completely collapsing. There's going to be run on the banks.
Yeah.
They own rubles, which are increasingly worthless. And now you have the top 0.001% of the country now broke.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen? Are they going? They're already starting to turn on him from some of the comments you hear.
Yeah. I think. Yeah. I think the challenge is really like, how does it get de-escalated? Like, Putin has to win something. And if the Ukrainian people aren't going to back down, because normally a sacrificial lamb would be Ukraine, like, hey, Putin has to put someone in power that's his right-hand man. But that guy ain't backing down. So they're going to fight. They've made it clear, we're willing to die.
Yes, they have. And
so they're not backing down. Putin's not some, like... There's just no fucking way this guy backs down. He's just not.
You wouldn't think. And I had a conversation with a friend who's in Europe right now. He's like, they're talking about the concept that there's no such thing as a Russian billionaire ever again.
Yeah. That also won't happen either, because these people are going to turn on this guy.
So what happens if Putin just, let's say he takes Ukraine against the world's will, and hopefully there's that's where he stops. The Western governments aren't unfreezing these assets.
Yeah.
Because it's already a provocation that no one approved of. So all these oligarchs they're broke.
Yeah. They've all hidden money in different places. Crypto.
I mean, not maybe like 5% of what they're worth.
Yeah.
It's not what they had.
Yeah. So, if you're
that's why Swiss, it's all in Swiss bank accounts.
Yeah, of course it's all. That's why that was the biggest. When I saw that, I was like, whoa. Swiss banks are now going to seize Russian assets? That's
Swiss
wild.
bank accounts is where dictators and ruthless people store their money for
Drug
100
dealers,
years.
everybody. Yeah.
Everyone. Because they don't ask questions.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's pretty tricky.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Especially because of the wealth angle.
My prediction, on Sunday was that everything ends on Friday. It's all over.
This Friday?
Yeah.
Well, he's shelling the Capitol right now. I'm seeing videos on Twitter.
Yeah. I think it's going to go 0-100 and then it'll end in some sort of negotiation.
I think he was banking on China to just help him. But China's not going to help a country outside the top 10 in GDP. There's no economic incentive.
There's no benefit unless...
He overplayed his hand and props to Biden. Everyone talks shit about Biden. His foreign policy team has nailed this.
Well, they're not doing anything.
No, the sanctions are working,
Yeah.
and they got the whole world against them.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if that's a function of American policy or if that's a function of.
No, I think they're working behind the scenes and got
Yeah.
every government to turn on them.
Yeah. Because,
That's what a foreign policy team does.
I assume that's what they do. But yeah, I think the fact that he's remaining silent on it is also good too. Like saying, yes, we are concerned about it, but like no American wants to see Americans in a war. I just don't believe that.
No American wants to see American troops anywhere near this region.
Nobody.
Not one person. I would.
Fox News, they've been hyping up a war.
Who, Tucker?
They're like, we need to get involved.
They want to say that because they have to go against Biden.
Yeah.
But if Trump was in power, he was the king of like, leave nations alone. I don't give a fuck. Let them do whatever they want.
Trump's praising Putin. Keeps saying he's a genius. Good move. It's a good move. That's what Trump keeps saying.
I think Republicans have egg on their face because my right wing like just nonsensical takes that I just want to see is Clay Travis.
Yeah.
And he's as far right it's gone. He's literally lost the plot.
Yeah.
He stopped talking about Russia. He's only talking about masks now.
Yeah.
Because a week ago it was all Russia. Biden's an idiot. Biden's an idiot.
It doesn't resonate.
Because they're wrong.
Yeah.
Biden's winning.
Yeah.
Now it's just schools and masks. He went back to that.
Yeah. I mean, masks are over, bro. It's all over. All over.
He's like talking about. I mean, how much the right got wrong on Russia is so evident because they're all just talking about people wearing masks at the White House.
Yeah.
Like, who cares?
Okay. All right. Well, and then finally, if you're into politics, State of the Union. Is that today?
It's tonight, yeah.
It's tonight. Always, I enjoy watching the State of the Union. I do not watch political TV. I don't follow CNN, Fox News. I'll watch it during like election cycles, but I basically don't want to hear about politics on a daily basis, like many of us don't. But I do enjoy watching State of the Union. I'm pretty sure I've watched, I watched Trump's. I watched obviously all of Obama's. This one's a big one because there's a conflict in Russia and Ukraine. There is inflation. There is
gas at the pump is up.
Gas at the pump is up. I would say like morale in the country is low because we're still coming off all these restrictions and mandates and the division. So I think it's a very important speech. Encourage everyone to watch it because I'd love to hear what everyone thinks.
Do you really want to hear what people think?
Yeah, because then I can respond.
Say not interested.
Not interested, not funny, or 10 has.
There you go.
All right. Well, that's all we have for today. We will see you back here on Thursday. Have a nice hump day. And, hopefully by Friday, we're wrapping up this war and we can just go back to the roaring 20s.
I hope so. Hope you're right.
Bye-bye.
Peace.